Welcome, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the BX Sports Jedi Network Bronx Bomber Strike Back podcast. We were scheduled for a watch on this evening. Unfortunately, we could see the background of. I purposely made the background to look what Yankee Stadium currently looks like. Due to the wildfires in Canada, there is a bad air element. Not able to play, so the games will be canceled. Possible tomorrow of a double header. And we'll try to bring both double headers here on the watch along. So, yes, so we're going to have a roundtable discussion about the New York Yankees. So instead of just calling the night, we're going to talk a little bit about the Yankees. It's going to be a little freestyling, fantasy type of a little bit with some rumors, some, talks about how we can improve the New York Yankees. But first and foremost, let's go around the horn and say hello and good evening. I want to say hello and good evening to everyone joining me on the panel. Let's start off with Lamario Hockey. Good evening, Lamario. How are you?
I'm doing good. Disappointed.
Awesome. That's always great to hear that.
That we didn't get a game today, but oh well. It is what it is.
All right. I know. Next, we'll have our partner from Flash Sports, Chris the Flash. Good evening, Chris.
What's up, Kev? What's up, Lamario? What's up, Hill? What's up, Chad? Steve, I see you. How y'all doing?
Awesome. And of course, the one and only Mr. Hill, Western Baseball. So I'm gonna give you a nickname now. Hill, the Western Baseball man. Salute. How are you doing tonight?
Yes, the stat nerd himself. Hill.
So, in the words of Cody Rose, what do you want to talk about? Let's talk about some earlier moves by the New York Yankees as Mr. Steve Fetlin. Salute Steve in the chat. He's saying the skies look like 1960 movie Voyages to the Sea. Boy, if right now if you're on the fence and boy, and you are a person to believe in faith, repentance. If you look outside, I mean, really, seriously. But let's get right into it. The New York Yankees made some moves, of course, starting with the biggest toe in the Yankee organization, the multi-million-dollar toe of Aaron Judge. He is on the 10-day IL list with a great toe sprain. Now hopefully they're not comparing this to a turf toe from Chad Chisholm. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. I hope not for Judge. Worst case scenario. Chris, I'm going to ask you, what do you think your expectations of the worst case scenario Judge missing time? How long? And what's your gut feeling?
Well, hopefully it's maybe 10 days, so like 2 weeks. But that's best case. So worst case, like you said, 4 to 6 weeks. Whoever we play, we got to at least try to go, over 500. So when he come back, we're not, sinking. So that's the only thing I can think of. What about you, Hill? What's your expectations on worst case scenario for Judge?
Worst case scenario is hopefully there's no inflammation or anything like that, because that can make this IL stint even worse. You just hope this is just a simple bruising or something like that, or maybe he just landed awkwardly and he's back after this IL stint. But most importantly, you just want this Yankee lineup to step up, like you said, because we've seen this lineup without Judge or even without Cole on the mound, they just seem to get, for better lack of a word, kind of lazy or unmotivated when their best players are not out there.
Okay, we'll go to Lamario. Lamario, your thoughts of Judge? How long? What's your expectation? How long do you think he's going to miss?
Yeah.
In this with this toe injury.
Well, hopefully not too long. Hopefully it's just the 10 days, but not anything any longer than that. But the, this Yankee team's got to play like we want to win without him.
Okay. Personally, I'm thinking, like he will say, the inflammation, the swelling. It's like a deep. To me, a sprain could be a deep bruise. Depending on the way he takes care of himself. Remember, he's 6'7", close to 265. On his feet. I'm pretty sure they'll have him on a walking cast or walking boot, not to put pressure on the foot and all that stuff. It's all about that. If he can stay off his feet, not put pressure, and allow the proper swelling to go down, like you said, the inflammation. How long is the inflammation? If it's going to be just a deep bruise, where it might, they call it a sprained ligament, but bruising where the healing factor of his body could make, we're not medical doctors here, or we're not pretending to be one either, but the worst case scenario, I'm thinking he's going to be missing the All-Star game and coming back right after the All-Star weekend. To me personally, I think that's the worst case scenario. On the best case scenario, I think he'll be right before July 4th back. I think he's going to miss 20 days, whatever. Instead of coming off 10 days, I think he's going to extend it on probably until the first series of that weekend, before the 4th of July. So we say good evening to Miss Anna Lee. Hello. Oh, it smells like barbecue, giant barbecue out there. Wow, someone said that the pretzel guy was burning his pretzels out in the corners in New York. So we saw that Judge will go on the IL. Also, the grill master Ryan Weber goes on a 60-day injured list. So looks like he's going to be off the whole season. Looks like he might be, Tommy John might be in his forecast for Ryan Weber. Unfortunately, they made him rush the move. They signed into the major league deal Brian McKinney. Now, Brian McKinney, we had him here before. It's a slap hitter, a punch and Judy type of player, defensively, speed-wise. They selected him to the active roster. This is a move that I know a lot of people are scratching their head, and I know that it makes sense. It does make sense. I'm going to break it why I think it made sense. And everyone says, well, Jedi, you're nuts. We should have been bringing Esteban Florio. He is killing it in the minor leagues. Now, the reason why you don't bring in Esteban Florio is that you have to put him back on the 40-man protected list. Now, sooner or later, when everyone starts getting healthy again, like Judge, salute Mr. Jerome Peralta. And when you bring Judge, Nestor Cortez, all the injured players that are returning, you have to make room on that 40-man roster to activate them. You can't take a chance on putting Esteban Florio again on waivers, because the team will pick him up. They will scoop him up and you lose him. So that's what it's telling me now. The Yankees are tipping their hands, saying that they are going to move Esteban Florio in part of a deal, a trading deadline. Now, I hope it makes sense. I personally, be honest with you, I would have loved Esteban Florio to get that opportunity to play center field. She deserves it on paper by what he's doing, but protecting the player and losing a player for nothing, I see what the Yankees are doing. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too. Chris, do you agree with that, or you just say screw it? I need to play Esteban Florio. If he hitches, we'll take our chances.
Well, now that you bring it up, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you might be right. If we got to bring him back down, somebody might scoop him, and then we lose him for nothing. So I feel like you might be on to something. He deserves to play. Hopefully, if he's not going to play with us, they need to trade him. I mean, especially now, he's still got some value. Especially how he's killing in the AAA. You might as well get something for him. Look at the last couple people that they didn't really trade, and how it turned out for us. So I don't know. I guess I can see where you're coming from. I guess I can agree with you on that.
So
Okay.
I have some stats here when the Yankees play with and without Judge.
Let's hear it.
So when Judge is healthy,
Lower this music a little bit.
this is dating back to 2020. the Yankees are 2013 and 106 to around 593 record winning percentage when Judge plays 26 to 29 games, 4-3 when he doesn't. So, but if that makes sense to people, but here's the kicker, and I had to save this picture because I was doing a lot of research. But all time, because Judge, I mean, granted, when he is on the IL, normally he doesn't stay there for that long. All time, the Yankees are 170 and 143 without Judge.
So the 30 games over 170 to 1. We can say 30 games over 500 without him in the lineup. I know me and you, Chris, we're probably going to be lockstep on this agreement there, but let me ask Mario here. Mario, knowing that, hearing those numbers, how confident are you that the Yankees could continue to win despite not having Judge? What's your confidence level? And then we'll get back to. I just wanted to get Mario in the conversation for a moment there.
Well, I'm a little confident without him, but kind of, but because we still have other great hitters like Rizzo and Stanton, and Volpe is good too. So
Okay, so you're pretty. You could say you're like a. If I could put words in your mouth, you're like 7 out of 10 confident the Yankees could win, or give me if I were to put a number without putting words in your. I said again, I didn't want me to put words in your mouth, but give me like that. Give me if you were to put a percentage like 6 out of 10, or from a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence level without Judge the Yankees continue to win?
About 7, 10.
Okay.
Out of 10.
All right, that's fair. I just wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth, not put the words in for the horse there. So, all right, cool. Chris, I know again we see that sample size there, but with the players that we have here, I know we and you are lockstep with the manager. The confidence of not him doing anything creative to generate offense. You could as a manager try to generate offense, but here's the thing that I have a little bit of a gripe. We have an outfield, and we shouldn't be doing this as we're the New York Yankees first and foremost. Of course, everyone talks about the payroll and money and all that good stuff. We shouldn't be one thing that frustrates me here as we sit here in the middle of June or the beginning of June, excuse me. We're experimenting with outfielders. We have our center fielder is not really a center fielder. He's a shortstop or a super utility guy, and Isaiah Falefa. We don't even have a steady left fielder because you're bringing Bowers. That Yankee last night, I was thinking about that. We were afterwards before, I couldn't go to sleep right away the way I wanted to, despite the fact sitting here when I get to the bed instead of knocking out, it just kept bothering me. We have the outfield of Calhoun, Falefa, and Bowers. I mean. If I would have told you that in March or February, you would have been saying you're nuts. And I don't know, man. I don't know if I don't know if I have the right words to say, Chris. We shouldn't be playing those players there. I mean, I understand you need depth, but damn. I mean, in June.
Yeah, if you're, it's killing me to say this, but if you notice, we're the only team with 2 infields. If you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
That's like you said, we are the Yankees, and it shouldn't be about payroll and stuff like that. But we also shouldn't be experiment on who should be playing the outfield when we should already know. And just in case if somebody gets hurt, we should know who's coming after them. It's weird because you got IKF playing center field, you got a first baseman and Bowers playing left field. Then you got Cabrera. Yeah, he's all right in outfield, but he's more of an infielder. Calhoun, he looks like every time he runs at the ball, he needs an oxygen mask. That's not gonna get it done. I'm hoping like Judge does come back quick. If not, they gotta make a trade for an outfielder. They have to. I mean, they had to in the first place, but now you definitely got to trade for one because now you got to worry about when Judge come back. Are you going to put him in the outfield? Because you just never know. And that's why they got to rely on Stanton to play the outfield a little bit because when Judge does come back, he has to be a DH for maybe a couple games.
Okay. I'm gonna ask this question to Heel. It's similar to what with that outfielder for the New York Yankees, and we're noticing that because you probably there's something that will hit you that you like. You see the Yankees, they have a lot of young up and coming players, but right now they're on the Double-A situation. Austin Wells, Spencer Jones, Dominguez. You know. I know Everson Peraza. Peraza is a Triple-A player right now. Also Peraza, also Triple-A. Now, if you have the young outfielders like Spencer Jones, Dominguez, my point cases, they're in Double-A. Do you try to bring them and elevate them to Triple-A for at least should they have done that earlier? Put them in Triple-A, see what they have, because boy, the moratorium for the rookie service time is coming to an end. Where if you bring them up, they could still go back down and still be, and even if they play the rest of the season, they don't have that service time yet. They still fall under the non-service time in the majors. Does it behoove the Yankees to make that move and bring in Dominguez? See what you got with Dominguez. If he plays, let's say this, if he comes out here and plays a hell of a defensive outfield, no matter where you put him in the outfield, and let's say he hits like Volpe, maybe 207, the Mendoza line, near the Mendoza line, but he plays you a hell of a defense, and he's not an albatross with the Yankees pitching. I know you rave a lot about the Yankees starting pitcher. Would you make that move, Heel?
Yeah, I think it's no secret the Yankees are a bit in a weird, I guess you say, crossroads, because you look at their starting lineup, and it's like you think, especially with their deep prospects that they have in the minors, that this lineup can be way more deeper than what it is, and rather that's a financial issue, or rather that's something in the front office just not being smart enough with trades or how they develop their minor leaguers, whatever the issue is. It's just something that you can be a lot more intelligent with. And by the trade deadline, honestly, if you don't want to keep trying to push these minor leaguers into becoming really good major leaguers, like I keep saying, you should just go in all-in-win type of mode and trade guys. Not saying you got to trade all of them like Dominguez and all that, but you have to make these moves. As impressive as guys like IKF has been, and even at moments Cabrera and Volpe, eventually, let's just be honest. You're the Yankees. Your job is to always be in a win now mode. Every year it's World Series or bust. You have to go and get these guys that are big names, or if not, at least solid players, and bring them in and try to win a ring. That's always the goal. You're not like other teams. You're one of the biggest franchises in the world. And the fact that you're in this weird scenario where it seems like your team doesn't know what they want to do. Like Jake Bauers, I'm sorry, solid platoon bat, as you can tell. He's not an everyday player. IKF, solid utility player, but he shouldn't, like you said, he shouldn't be doing what he's doing. Oswaldo Cabrera, he shouldn't be starting right now. Granted, he has been on the bench a few times. Volpe, I mean, let's be honest, everyone's debating whether or not he should be the starter or not, and that's a bad thing. If anything, if you're the Yankees, you should be going, wow, that's a really great to start shortstop we have right there. I'm glad we have him. And somewhere along the lines, I think the Yankee motto of like, we have to have like this win now mentality, it just kind of got either really confusing or just lost in the shuffle.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I love that. That was great points there with the loss of the shuffle. Also, here's another thing that I was thinking about earlier. Lamar, you have anything to want to say about that with the the outfielders experimenting and players there, or you're good?
Yeah, we shouldn't be doing that. We should keep the infielders where they belong. Like IKS should be playing short and all that, but we have them in the outfield because we don't have Judge. Wait, I don't get it. I just don't get why we're doing that.
Yeah, because I was thinking about that. And good point there, Lamaro. I was thinking about that earlier this morning. I was saying the Yankees went away from when and of course I hate to keep bringing back the '90s team. Even before that, before they went on a postseason run because they've been on an impressive postseason run. Making the postseason, but they always had guys that were bona fide players at their position. They were the Yankees are a bunch of jack of all trades and a master of none. And when I mean that is, let your third baseman be a true third baseman, not this guy who's going to play third, left field, right field. They got too many of those type of players. LeMahieu, first baseman, second baseman, third baseman. I get it. I think the Yankees fell in love with that model of the Ben. They want a bunch of Ben Soberists, but Ben Soberist, last time there's not that. That's a rare find. I understand the more positions you play, the more valuable you are to the team, but you're not good at one position. You just play okay, and they want a bunch of okay players to move them around and interject them and heckle and jackal. It feels like they want a jigsaw puzzle with the position players and also the lineup. One thing about those lineups in the '90s, you always knew it was 1 through 6, or 1 through 5, and you interchange. You saw that with the Dodgers so much that people want to say that they're like, oh, we can maybe like the Dodgers. You saw the Dodgers always their first 5, 6 hitters were always the same. They were mixed match. Set the 8, 7, 8, 9 hitters from here and there, from Vargas moving up and down the lineup. It was always the same. It was Freeman batting second. It was Betts leading off. Muncy, Will Smith, then Muncy. Or you could switch to lefty and righty depending on the pitchers. I don't know. I'm gonna ask you, and I'll go to Chris on that. Your Astros, do they do this heckle and jekyll? Because I don't watch them. Do they do heckle and jekyll their lineups like the Yankees?
No. It's normally always the same lineup, which is Altuve leading off. By the way, this is when healthy. Altuve's leading off. Pena bats second. Depending on how they're doing and depending on the pitcher, it's normally Jordan, then Bregman, then Tucker, then Abreu, and then the bottom of the order, which is like Jay Myers, Martin Maldonado, and McCormick. Like, you already know what the lineup's going to be even before you watch the game, and everyone's got their place. Right now Brantley's hurt, so we got Jake Myers in left, but that's the way it is. They get used to it. It's a routine. It's a mentality mindset. And that's also it. And by the way, that's a perfect segue into the other thing I want to say. I think a thing that the Yankees need to understand is like the new way of the game is the players can be analytics. They can be into analytics, but you have to have an old school manager, which works perfectly. The manager is the one that isn't necessarily supposed to be the one taking analytics. He's the one that's supposed to just think of the situation and then bring in the right guy. The players are supposed to be the one looking up stuff and how they match up against certain players, because that's how baseball is nowadays. That's why when you hear about rather it's Correa's, Bellinger's or Mookie Betts's, Aaron Judge even on the podcast with Mookie Betts or whatever it may be. The players are the ones that are really heavy into analytics, and that's why most winning clubs, they hire an old school manager, because they try to keep all that balance. They are the ones that keep that gelled. That's what the winning formula is nowadays. Old school means new school. Yeah.
All right. Chris, going right to that with the Yankees, jack of all trades, a master. Give me your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, everybody keeps bringing up the dynasty. I mean, but you could just, think about the recent championship we won in 2009. That lineup was the same. It wasn't nothing different with that lineup. I just don't understand. And I mean, me and Kev said this all the time. Judge should be batting second. Your best hitter should be batting second. I understand, like Hill was saying with the whole analytics thing. Oh, more at bats. But do you want more at bats or do you want more RBIs, chances for your best hitter? I just don't understand that, because if you get more at bats, especially if the leadoff hitter is not really a leadoff hitter, how he's gonna get on base for Judge? I just it just it's so confusing because yes, the only person look like the only actually let me say two people that's consistent in the lineup is Judge and Rizzo. We don't know who the leadoff is. Stanton is always hurt, so we don't know who's coming after Rizzo. Then DJ's all over the place. Volpe, he can't be consistent enough to stay in the batting order. I'm trying to think. Cabrera, he's on the bench and then he gets sit down, then he comes back up. They don't know what to do with him, but now you're messing up his confidence. Not like he's basically gonna turn into Debbie 2.0 if you keep doing that. IKF, I'm happy for him. He deserved the playing time, and especially him being on a cheap contract, like that's perfect. I'm happy he can play, center field every once in a while, but we don't need him starting center field every single day because Beta or Judge is hurt. You got to get a true center fielder, just like we need to get a true, leadoff hitter. Torres can't be that. I like Torres, but he shouldn't be the leadoff hitter. So I think that's my biggest gripe is like you said, like our championship teams always had a consistent lineup. If you're not having consistency, that's a problem.
Yeah, and they're trying to reinvent a wheel. What's round is round. You're not gonna drive a car with a square tire. Last time I saw it, you have to have it's got to be round. It's got to be full of air. You can't. And they trying to do that and trying to jam it down our throats. And despite they win, but baseball players are creatures of habit. You hear it from time and time since I've been watching baseball. All I've been hearing, baseball players are creatures of habit with certain superstitions. Listen, Wade Boggs only ate chicken. He had a book, 1,001 ways or 101 ways how to eat chicken, because that's all he ate in the regular season was chicken before a game. There's guys that do certain quirky things. Guys want a creature of habit. They want to know where they're bat and they know where they're going to attack. Or like you said, Chris, case in point, I think one of the players. Listen, some of these guys that come from the minor leagues, they're used to a certain role. And I think that's another why Volpe is a little bit struggling, despite the fact he got great power numbers, great RBIs, batting average isn't so hot, but it's the confusion of the lineup or where he's going to bat. What is, if he's going to bat 8th or 7th or 9th, there's a different approach as a leadoff hitter. Or even if you're in an RBI situation in the 5th, it confuses you. And some of these guys have a different approach. And I think by them playing the Heckle and Jekyll, especially like you said, DJ LeMahieu, it shows he's struggling profusely. DJ LeMahieu, he should, even he's not even a prototypical leadoff hitter. He should, he should be the one leading off in front of Judge because he knows how to handle the bat better. Torres is good for running into one, when you least and a sneaky. And I think they're trying to get cute, and I think it confuses and I think it frustrates us there with that. Mario, your thoughts on that lineup, the creature habit of the batting orders and all and that stuff there. What's your thought there? Because I know you played Little League hockey, Little League baseball, and Little League sports. Your thoughts on that when it turned on your give me your input.
Yeah, Gleyber should definitely not be a leadoff batter. It does not be batting second. Like it does to be at least 5th or the 6th batter in our lineup, not second. But and with all the injuries, you don't know who's gonna bat after Rizzo because everyone gets hurt all the time. So it's like, wait.
That's another thing, the injury bug. And salute to Aiden. Aiden joining us there. We'll get to that too in a moment there. So we're agreement that the farm system, the AAA level doesn't. Well, the Yankees are telling me that the AA is more stronger than a AAA, and but
no, that's not true. AAA is more stronger than AA if you really think about it too.
Well, so why are we not bringing some of these players up then? That's my point, because everything we hear about Spencer Jones, Austin Wells, Dominguez, Sweeney, you're hearing these names, but they're in the lower level of baseball, AA, not years, about a year, maybe 2 years away. So what's going on in the AAA that we're not? We need depth. We need organizational depth here, and I think right now it's like you said, Chris, and I think we need another voice. I hate to say it, and you can't fire Cashman now. You can't do that now. No, I'm not advocating that, but this is the warts of having Cashman a little bit too long. First time I'm going to say that because we're seeing the philosophy and the non-development of the AAA level, not helping, not having depth. Everyone is, and I understand. Listen, the Yankees, if you win playoff, if you're in the postseason every year and you're winning baseball and you're always winning divisions, wild card, whatever the case, you're not going to have good, strong draft picks. You're not going to draft like the Orioles to get those kind of players because they suck for a while. My case in point, you have to have a good scouting department. You have to learn to develop these players. I think they do. I think they're trying to rectify that there again with Omar Minaya, with Brian Sabian. Those are good baseball minds. I think they're trying to rectify that there. And right now, I'm extremely disappointed in the AAA affiliate. What I'd like to see in Everson Paredes up here, they haven't brought him up for a reason. Esteban Florio, I thought we all could agree he never got a real fair shot on the major league roster.
Yeah. It's like Clint Frazier and Andujar all over again. And it's like, how you expect somebody to improve if you're gonna keep, you can come up, but you're only gonna have a week or two. But then when they actually produce, you still send them back down. It's like Peraza. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy Volpe's a shortstop. I can't stress that enough. But Peraza showed us last year he was hitting over 300. What more do you want him to do? And I'm not saying get rid of Gleyber, but he could have played third while Josh Donaldson was hurt, and you could have had DJ, playing all over the field. It doesn't make sense.
Right, and the thing is, with Peraza, it doesn't fit though. Because you bring another infielder, we need bona fide outfielders. We can't say Peraza will go learn another position in the major league level. That's what happened with Cabrera. Cabrera was an infielder. They made him learn another position, outfield position in the major league, on the major league level. And believe it or not, the kid has done a hell of a job for not playing. Last year he had his first game at first base ever, and in the majors. That's a lot to ask for that kid. And kudos to him. Regardless of the fact that he struggles at times or not, because he's doing whatever it takes to stay and become a survivor in the major league level. But damn, that's not the way of running an organization. I'm sorry, you can't have guys and learn on the trade. Baptism on the fire in the main. For that personally, that's why my point. I get back to my case in point is for that. Bring up Dominguez and let him learn in the major league. You're asking players to learn another position in the major league level. Why not let the kid who's a natural position in his natural position play in the major league level in his natural position for his love? That's why I'm bringing that point hard, and I'm sticking to that hard point because I say, but you're gonna ruin the kid because if he doesn't hit or whatever. Man, but that's his natural position. He's been playing. He's been grooming himself all these years to be there. Why not try it in the major league level? Just a food for thought there. Anything before we start talking about some? I guess we get into fantasy or trade possibility.
Do you guys want to find out some team stats before we go on with the Yankees?
Absolutely. You're the statistician. Go for
it. Okay. In OPS, they are literally in the middle of the pack. They are at 15 at OPS. And when it comes to batting average, the Yankees actually ranked at 22nd in MLB when it comes to batting average at 234. And when it comes to home runs, the Yankees, they are. I'm scrolling down. Hopefully, I see them. The Yankees are fourth, so they literally do live and die by the long ball.
See, I just want like this.
Yeah. And RBIs, they are ninth. Ninth. When it comes to runs, they are. They are ninth again.
Ooh, I almost hit that one and I have no stats in front of me. I'm just doing numbers guessing.
Yeah, you guys can keep guessing. That's fun too. You know what? If you guys want to keep guessing for fun to make this
go for it. Yeah.
Hits. They are
10, roughly.
13.
13th.
they are 22nd.
That's bad.
That's not good.
No.
Wow, that's not good. Do you have their pitching statistics?
Yeah,
we don't know their bullpen.
We'll
Okay,
go to
all
their
right.
pitching next.
All right.
And when it comes to doubles, let's see.
Like
let's see what they
24th.
rank.
21 doubles.
20th.
21st.
They are 29th in hitting
Ooh.
doubles. Not even kidding. I got the stat sheet.
No, we got you. We got you.
Yeah.
We got you.
That's
I bet
bad.
they're like sixth or four in triples
Triples, we'll check.
because they've been having a
Four.
couple. They have quite a few with them with triples. We'll get to the comments, Aiden. We'll
Yeah.
definitely see that there. We just want to stay on topic, Aiden.
Anyone want to take a guess at triples? I got it right here.
They're 5th.
Yeah, I think they're like sixth.
4.
They're 13th.
13th. Okay.
Man.
Oh, there's other teams. Wow, there's other teams hitting triples because they have quite a few that I'm like, okay.
DJ even
Okay.
got one.
Mhm.
So they were.
Alright. We'll fast forward to walks. How many walks are they drawing?
Walks.
They're middle of the pack. I think they're like
Yeah,
13
I would
in the
say-
middle of the pack.
I'm gonna say 8th.
I'm gonna say about
Okay.
top 3.
They're 21st in the league at drawing walks.
That's not Yankee baseball.
Yeah.
That's not Yankee baseball.
They got 196 on the year and
Wow.
as a team. Yeah. All right.
That's
How
not
many
bad.
times of the year are they striking out?
Oh,
So
they're
they-
probably the second
number
best. The second number two of
Yeah.
strikeouts.
It's the Rays first and they second, I bet you.
They are the 16th.
Oh,
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's not too bad. I'm actually
middle of the
surprised.
pack. Middle of the pack. I mean, there
Middle
got to
of-
be some kind of positive with being over 10 games over 500.
All right. Stolen bases.
Ooh.
Ooh.
They were doing good in the beginning of the
yeah.
year in May.
I'ma say
and
10.
then when they got to the first weekend of May, I think they're middle of the pack. I think they're 16th.
I'm gonna say
Yeah,
10.
middle pack. I've middle pack about 4.
Alright. Everyone got their guesses?
Yeah.
I say 16, and yeah,
Yeah, they're in the middle of the pack. They're at 15th.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's close. Yeah,
I said 14, right around there. Alright.
yeah. Me and you were we're right there. Like you win because your price is right. I went over.
All right. Well, we'll go with on base percentage.
I think
Anyone guess
they're
how-
gonna.
I'm
I think they're in the top 10.
gonna say
Same.
21.
22nd. 22.
All right. Everyone got their answers locked?
I got it.
Mhm.
They are 26 at getting on base.
Ooh.
That's not good.
That's
no.
like Yankee baseball.
All right. We'll switch to pitching.
There we go.
All right. Let's go. I don't think anyone cares about wins or losses, right? Or do we care about those stats?
I care about it when it comes to the Cy
I
Young.
care
I don't care.
about-
I care about it when
Yeah.
it comes to the playoffs.
All right. All right. We'll start with wins then. How many wins do the Yankees have as a pitching staff?
Starting pitching as a staff in their major league,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're like top 10. I say they'll be like 7th.
I'm
I say
gonna
about
say
8.
5th.
Okay. Mario.
At least 8, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're 4th as a staff.
Yeah, bad.
Okay.
Yeah, because
That
I
was
know
close.
the numbers are going to be very impressive.
Yeah.
All right. How about losses on the year?
As a starting, I think Clark Smith had a couple losses there. I know Cole was undefeated.
I'm gonna say 3rd. They're the 3rd best team with the fewest losses.
2nd.
Yeah. They're
I'm gonna go 5th.
They're 26th.
Yeah, because 26 is a good number.
Yeah,
Okay,
It's a
okay,
good
okay,
number
okay.
because
Yeah, that's
yes,
good. That's
remember
good.
that's a good number.
Yeah.
That's like saying that's like being 4th. That's being 4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's backward. You don't want to be in the top of that one. Yeah.
How about ERA? How good are they for ERA this year?
They gotta be 2nd.
I think they're 4.
They are 6th.
Okay. If you
not
could,
bad.
if you add our numbers, it's 6. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Well, let's go to saves.
No, I think that's where they're struggling because I think um they've had a couple blown save. I think they're middle of the pack. I'm gonna middle of the pack like 17th though, higher part of it of the pack.
I'm gonna say 14.
They're 11th.
Mm.
That's impressive. That's a little impressive, believe it or not, for not having a bona fide star, a closer, named closer. 11th is not bad.
Yep. How about innings pitch?
Oh, they're gonna be the bottom because they Boone 5 innings. That butthole itches for him to go on and change the pitcher. I'm gonna say they're gotta be like 17th to 19th. 19th. I'm going 19th.
I'm gonna say 14.
Remember, this is like complete pitching staff, so bullpen and
Right, complete. Right.
yeah.
Bullpen.
This counting bullpen and starting.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say
Well, they didn't have that many. They have only 5 or how many extra inning games they have? Like maybe I'm gonna say they're gonna be middle of the pack.
I'm gonna say 5th.
They're 4th.
Yes.
4th.
I knew it was up there.
All right. How many hits have they allowed this year?
Damn, because you know what's gonna suck because Clark Schmidt was butt and Domingo in the beginning of the year.
Hold up, and it might be including Sevy's tip pitch thing too. So that was horrible.
Actually, I got something. I got some more insights on Severino. We'll finish this and
By the
what
way,
happened.
it's good. It's good to be low on this list. I'm just gonna say.
Okay. They're like 22nd.
I'm gonna say 19.
They are 28th with
28. That's good.
That is good.
That's good. That's good.
How many runs have they allowed?
Oh, in total, damn, they haven't been. They just got a couple. Nah, they're about top 10.
Yeah.
You know, they're not. No, they're gonna be like 21st, but that's a good 21st because they're gonna be like the
What
19.
What about 27?
They are 25.
Okay.
25. We're right close between.
Sorry,
Yeah.
24.
That's still not bad.
Yeah, that's still good.
That's 6 teams that have given up less than the Yankees. That's good.
How about earned runs? We're almost done, by the way.
ERA. Looking at because I'm doing the watch ones, I always write the ERAs and all that. But Clark Schmidt has a high ERA. But this is a whole as a team, as a tandem.
As a team.
They're gonna be. I say they're 6th in the major leagues in earned run average.
They're number 2.
Kev had it right on the head. They are 25th.
Okay.
So they're in the 6th. Yeah. How many home runs have they given up this year?
Ooh, Cole gave up a lot.
Yeah, but the well, yeah,
I know.
I'm gonna say that the bullpen didn't give up a lot, but you had the Abanto Abreu grand slam that time. I still say Sevy, the Nestor started giving up the long ball, and even Cole. With that, I'm gonna say middle of the pack. I'm gonna say 17th.
I'm gonna say 20.
Kev was closer. They are 14th with 68 gets. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Hit by pitches. I don't think people care about that really.
Nah, that one not too big on that one.
How about walks?
They don't issue a lot of walks, so they don't surrender a lot of walks. So they'll be, even with
the higher the number, the better.
The higher the number, the worse actually.
Okay, so I'm gonna say they're 18th.
No, I think they're 24th.
The Yankees actually issued 209 walks, resulting in them being 13th.
Oh, well, it's close.
Oh, 13 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, we'll go to strikeouts and then we'll finish it with that.
Sure.
So how many strikeouts did they have?
As a team, as a collective unit, they get a lot of strikeouts. So
yeah,
they do. So I think they'll be 5th. 5th, but I think they'll be 5th in the major leagues in strikeouts because they do collect a lot of strikeouts.
I'm gonna say 7.
Okay. Man, I don't think there's a team that gets more strikeouts than that though.
They are 8th in the league.
Eighth?
Oh, cool.
Oh, not bad. You were close. Yeah,
So-
they do get us.
So the moral of the story is the pitching carries this team. It seems like.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Besides CASHMAN.
But here's the funny thing. How better would those numbers be if they would have had a true defensive team? You know, how many errors? Oh, can you find the errors?
Yes.
That's the one.
Errors?
That's a good one. Errors and where they rank in baseball in errors. If you could find that one.
Yeah, I think I should be able to. Just give me a second.
And let me know if y'all can hear this, because I'm about to put the fan on.
No, cool down, brother.
Okay, good.
Aiden, we promise we're going to get that. I know you had that comment there for quite some time. We're not ignoring you, Mr. Aiden. We just want to stay on topic. We don't want to jump. Then we don't want to jump out of topics. We want to get to that. We're going to get to your comments. So please don't feel discouraged. And we're not ignoring them. I just want to make sure that you know this channel. We read and honor and acknowledge everyone's comment in the chat. You are part of the channel. You're like the other man in with us here on the comment with your comments. So don't hang loose. I know you put some good ones. I'm looking at them and I want to highlight them, but I don't want to jump out of our topic.
Let's see. Okay. The Yankees are okay. There we go. So the Yankees this season, they make at least on average of it seems like 1 error per game. If I'm reading this correctly.
I mean, when you have a rookie shortstop and people playing out of position, that number is going to be there. So I think
Yeah,
how they rank.
Yeah,
Yes.
they ranked 21st in errors.
That's a good thing. That's good. That means there's 21 other teams worse making more errors. The Yankees are 9 teams make less errors than the Yankees, which is for again, you want to be in the top, but for a rookie shortstop, everyday different third baseman at times because of injuries, whatever the case is, the outfield is shuffled, out of position. You got a right fielder sometimes playing center field. You have everyone's moving around and all, and you have for them to be there 21st in major leagues of errors, they don't make a lot of 21st. That's not a bad number.
If I told
I'm
you
reading
who
it
was
correctly.
behind you, if I told you who was behind you, you wouldn't believe me.
Mets.
Oakland.
Okay. No, you know what?
Yeah.
Even if you know what, Oakland could be just bad pitching or based on balls. It doesn't mean that they boot the ball. They just
We definitely got to get
hit.
Tony killed. We definitely got to get Tony killed.
Now we saw those numbers there. Just think of it now. Now we have an opportunity there with some players, get some now. Now we're gonna go to Mr. Aiden's topic. We saw what the numbers. We saw what they have there. Now let's try to fix this. I mean, we've seen some of our good friends. Want to give them, acknowledge them with some of their trades, some of their proposals. Mikey Mazda had a good one yesterday. He sent me the video. I heard it this morning. Had some good ones there, some good trade possibility candidates, and so forth. We know that you bought that good one with the White Sox. That it was copy and paste, but at the end of the day, it's still great minds think alike, I guess. So imitation is the best form of the best form of flattery. But let's get right to it. Let's go with how we fixed it. We're gonna go. Let's get Aiden first because Aiden was more than happy to put this earlier. He was talking with the Marlins for Jorge Soler. He is doing extremely well for the Miami Marlins. Any interest on Jorge Soler for the Yankees? I mean, what are we giving up? What is his trade value first and foremost?
Well, in order to get Soler and find out his value, we gotta find out where the Marlins are first.
Correct. But I believe they're ahead of the Mets. They're ahead of the Mets in the East, in the National League East, in the West, National League East. Excuse me.
Yeah, they're second in their division and they got a winning record. So, do I feel like the Soler trade is going to happen right now? Honestly, nope. I
I
don't
believe
think
it so.
so.
And then that takes the Marlins of trading anyone. Let's say I tell you this. If I tell you I got a player who's making $6 million for third base. Would Chris? I'm not giving you the name. Would you be interested?
A third baseman making $6
Could we
million.
6 million? He's dude. He was an all-star.
Do you know what he's hitting?
I can't give you that because you know who it is right away.
I probably won't. If he's a former All Star, to be
He's
honest
an
with
all.
you,
He was last year. He was an all-star. Last year he was an all-star. But
I,
he's making $6 million by
if you can get,
arbitration, and he
yeah,
went to arbitration and got $6 million.
if you can get rid of Donaldson, yeah,
No, forget it. That's we don't even have to talk about that. Let's say that here's the chance. Here it is. No matter who it is, even if it's for Spalding, even if it's for a New York City hot dog, I'm going to give you this player that makes $6 million to play your third base. We'll worry about Donaldson and all that crap. He's just going to, as soon as they say yes, he's the starting third baseman. Would
all
you
right,
do it?
yes.
Okay, all right. Heel, do you have an idea who I'm talking about?
If you're still talking about the Marlins, it's Gene Segura.
No, the player. No, I'm not even. I never mentioned the team. I never mentioned the team. I never mentioned. I just told you the position.
But
I know who
I
it
mentioned
is.
the position
I know it is.
and what he did last season, All Star, and I gave you his money. What is he going to cost you for the Yankees?
all right, he was an All-Star last year. I'm
He's
not gonna
making
look
$6
it.
million.
I'm not gonna look it
Don't
up.
look at it. Don't look it up because I don't want. I'm asking you as I know. I'm asking you. Look, you can have. You can have this. I'm offering you a third baseman, bona fide third baseman who made who laid the All Star team, but he went to arbitration, and in arbitration he only got paid $6 million. Would you want to take him on your team to play third because you need a third baseman? Forget about if you do it or don't. I'm offering you him. Do you take him? Chris said yes.
Honestly, I wouldn't if I'm the Yankees,
Okay.
and here's why: I trust LeMahieu at third and Donaldson to platoon. If I'm the Yankees, I'm more focused on like my bullpen. To be honest with you,
No, but I got you here. But that was just the question. All right, I'm gonna pause there. The reason why I ask you this, and none of you guys asked me how old was this player. First and foremost, I was really hoping one of you guys were asking how old is this guy. First and foremost, he is in the 20s. He went to arbitration and lost the arbitration. Actually, he lost the arbitration case. He got $6 million. He was traded last season from the Minnesota Twins to the Marlins and is batting .400. His name is Luis Ariz. He's only making $6 million and is a free agent to be. But the Marlins, like you said, Heel, they're in second place right now. They're in a postseason run or possibility to make a wild card. Don't think they'll move him, but I don't know if they'll sign Luis Ariz.
they are not trading him right now. He is
I
batting
know
like
that.
Tony Gwynn. Yeah.
He's 400. But think about, and that's a guy that I liked. I think I mentioned that in January when we did a Yankee. Luis Ariz. He's a player when he played for the World Baseball Classic for Venezuela. That is a player, man. That is a really good player. That I don't know. I understand maybe he was part of the Lopez trade. Man, just think about that. They passed on Gleyber Torres for Luis Ariz. Marlins knew something because they went and got Luis Ariz over Gleyber Torres. So, that's a good one there. Now, here's another player. Then we'll give our thoughts. We want to first acknowledge Aiden. So, guys, we have to. I always specify everyone in the chat has a voice on the channel. We gonna cater to that right now. Of course, Luis Ariz, he says, would it be perfect fit for the Yankees? He is hot right now, and he is awesome. Another player that Aiden likes is Alex Verdugo. I don't think the Red Sox and Yankees will make a move with one another, especially for Verdugo, where they got to see a Verdugo every year for what, not 10, 13 games a season, because now with the competitive balance, I don't think that's going to happen. And Alex Verdugo with the Yankees, I mean, left-handed hitter that will fit, but I don't. Do you agree? Do you think there's no way in No
He
way
can
that they'll
he
trade
can
for
be
Verdugo.
streaky. He can be streaky too. Like he's one of those hitters that's either going to be in a hot streak or he's going to be in a cold slump. And if I'm the Yankees, I would pass. And on top of that, like you said, with the Red Sox Yankees thing, he's going to cost a pretty penny.
Well,
Absolutely.
last year
Yes, sir.
was the rumor of him and Glaber swap, and right now I'm taking Glaber over him, and I'm happy that that was just a rumor because like we have too many streaky cold hitters. We don't need another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Verdugo is going to be an outfielder. That's a tough one. I don't think they'll do it. I don't think the Yankees and the Red Sox will make any move with each other at all.
Not like that,
especially
no.
where they got to see. No, I don't think so either. Not a type of blockbuster. Aiden, we acknowledge you on that one. We wanted to agree with you on that, but I don't think Verdugo with the Yankees. The Marlins right now are in second place right now. Anything could happen here trading deadline. So maybe we revisit the Marlins in about right before the All-Star game to see where they're at. We'll take the temperature with the Marlins, see what they want to do. But if they're building something where they're second in the National League East, where the possibility of grabbing either one of the two wild cards, I don't think the Marlins will be sellers. I think they will stay pat, maybe add a cheap bullpen arm or whatever, and try to stay above and get into there. All right, of course, let's go to the darling here. What's your gut? And Aiden wants to know, Padres moving Juan Soto. Me, I asked the player I want personally. But what is your deal? Padres record? Can you give me record of Padres while you look that up there? Mario, what's your thoughts there on all those moves there? I haven't heard from you for a bit. I know you came back in and out. Verdugo, Soler, the Marlins, those moves there. What's your thoughts on that? Do you see the Yankees and the Red Sox making a deal with one another? Interesting choice of words by Mario.
So you say you want Verdugo? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. It took him speechless. That was a good one.
Even
okay, go ahead.
So, well, this is my thinking way, and here's what I'm thinking. That one's definitely more doable than Verdugo and all that because they are in fourth place. So you'll have to, ironically, pray and hope that they stay in fourth place. Because they are, then they might tease moving at least somebody. And if that player is Soto, well, here's the thing. If they do move Soto to the Yankees, well, then you better prepare to give up Dominguez and let it cover all their prospects.
Right.
That's the only issue, and I hope you're willing to deal with that. Because he's like, I am. It's okay. I am. But like, here's the problem. Let's say you trade for Soto, and then he doesn't want to re-sign. Then what do you do? Well, then you just gave away Dominguez and a bunch of other prospects.
Right.
That can possibly turn out to be really well for the Padres. And then Soto leaves the free agency, and then it's like, now what do you do? Now you're left with no one to really call up to the majors. So you got to think about these kind of things.
This is why if they're going to do that move with a Juan Soto, and he agrees, let's say the trade is there in principle, you have to have a multi-year contract. And I don't know and here's another aspect. I don't know if the Yankees are willing to give up another not 100 million, but I'm talking about another multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract in the hundreds. I don't know, because and I don't think Juan Soto is going to want to sign that deal in July. Let's say the Yankees offer, I don't know, let's say 10 years, 400 million. Let's say 40 million a year. I'm just throwing a number, guys. I know. And he says, you know what? I'm not going to sign it because I got to see what Shohei Ohtani is going to get in the offseason. And if he gets 60, I could probably get 50 or 55.
Oh,
and it doesn't behoove. It doesn't, or he doesn't want to be the one to set the bar. That's what a lot of these, and they're not just saying it's Soto himself, I'm talking about his agent. The agent play. So, like you said, do the Yankees want to play that game where hypothetically, if they do give up, like you said, that rich ransom for that prospect and for a rental, and let's say he comes and with knock on wood, with the history injuries that the Yankees had, he comes and injures himself, and oh my God, would that be a conundrum?
Oh yeah. And by the way, I just looked it up, and yes, Scott Boras is Juan Soto's agent. So, and the history of Scott Boras' agent says no matter where you go, you're testing for agency.
Exactly.
And Garrett Cole and Stan are already on the blocks for the Yankees for what, over 300 million. So you got to wonder yourself, can we handle another $300+ million contract?
Don't forget, Judge is already the
Oh yeah,
Don't forget Judge.
Judge,
That's yeah.
Judge too. Can you handle one more? Because I know you're the Yankees and you got a lot of money, but everyone has a limit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why the Soto thing is. I think personally, to be honest with you, I think the Soto thing, as much as I want, as again, and Chris as well, but I've been a big with the pom poms for Soto, but I don't think that's going to happen until the off season. If that happens with the Yankees, with that. But again, Aiden, and this is the one that everybody likes, and of course, again, I mentioned him in the off season, and I wanted the Yankees to exploit and get is Cody Bellinger. And I've said it. I said it. Was it May again? I said the Yankees are going to trade for Bellinger. The same way I've been saying that Aroldis Chapman is going to end up with the Mets. I've been saying that Cody Bellinger is going to show up. I'll end up with the Yankees. Now, Cody Bellinger has a 1 year. It has an option for another year, but it's, I believe. Can you find out it's a player's option or a team option? Heal for Cody Bellinger. He's making 17.5 million, if I'm not mistaken, for Cody Bellinger. But I know there's a second year attached to it, but I don't know if it's 2 year on that.
I'm looking it up right now.
Now, what I like about Cody Bellinger, he could play corner outfield, center field if needed, and also first base. Now, a player that makes sense. His father was a part of the Yankee dynasty. His father was Clay Bellinger, played here, he grew up. He knows what the Yankee tradition is about. That's why I was surprised they didn't sign him in the offseason. Go ahead, Heel. What's his contract?
It's a mutual club option, so they both have to agree to when it's there.
Okay. All right. And that comes if he comes to the Yankees and he comes here and they offer, can I get a 1 more year at the mutual agreement, blah blah blah. Then we'll have this deal on the table if you play, and that's a risk that I'm willing to take. Chris, your thoughts on Bellinger? Because you don't have to give up much to really get him, because this is really much, he's an expiring or a free agent. Mutually could be a free agent. So, what's your thoughts there?
Well, I don't mind Bellinger on his team, but he's also kind of fighting injuries, I think, this year. It's like if I'm gonna call the Cubs, I want one of their pitchers, and I'm hearing a rumor that one of the pitchers, he used to pitch for the Blue Jays. He always wanted to be a Yankee. I mean, I think this is his time because it's the best I've seen him pitch in a while. And if we're gonna trade for Bellinger, we better ask for Marcus Stroman too, because we need pitching it. And I think his ERA is like a 2.57. I think. If you can look that up, Hill. I know it's in the twos.
I like Marcus Stroman. I'm a big, I was very excited and proud what he did in the World Baseball Classic, 14 Puerto Rico, pitched extremely well. Also a pitcher who keeps the ball down on the ground. He's not, he's. I don't believe he's been injured for a pretty long time in IL stints. A durable pitcher that was going to give you that reliable, because you already have your ace. We could agree Cole is an ace. We could agree with that. I think Marcus Stroman could fit into that role of a Nestor Cortez number 2, because I think Cortez, we'll talk about Cortez next. That's going to be our next topic after we talk about here with Marcus Stroman. I think he could slide into that number 2 for Nestor Cortez, because let's face it, we could say, well, about Severino, Kev. Well, Severino always injured. I can't put him in that number 2 because of the injury. He's got the talent and the stuff, but I can't put him in number 2 yet until he shows me that he's going to be healthy going forward. And if he's going to go healthy into finish the season going healthy into the postseason, then I could see he's my number 2 starter with the stuff wise. But durability, I can't trust him at number 2 there. Go ahead, Heel. What's his ERA, buddy?
His ERA is 2.39. He has 6 wins, 4 losses. He has a WAR of 3.1, which means he's being like elite this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's only allowed 1 home run this year.
That's great. And Chicago Cubs, that stadium is small.
He's allowed. Let's see. He has no box. Let me see his walks. That's important. Let's see. Sorry.
No, you good here.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading the last 5 days. That's what messed me up. Okay, this year he has 68 strikeouts, 5 home runs. He's allowed 21 runs. 21 earned, 22 in total, 52 hits, 79 innings pitched.
That's good.
Yeah, sorry folks about reading the last 5 days.
No, that's still good.
That's fine.
Yeah, he leads the league in WHIP at 1,000.
He's having a good year. He's having he's having a good year on a team that's not producing wins.
Yeah,
that's showing you that
I checked the record. They're literally under 500, so the Cubs would probably be buyers at the deadline if they keep this up. As for what Flash said, if you want Bellinger and Stroman at the deadline, it's going to cost you a lot for both of them. Especially,
I don't think so. I think Stroman's on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're the Cubs, from their point
that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be as big because not only are you taking the money in, like you're taking a lot of money in too.
It all depends there. I get you mentioned that if the Yankees, the Yankees could say, if you take more of the contract this season, we'll send you a higher, better prospect. But if we take on the money, we're going to send you a lower level prospect. Now, it goes back to what the Yankees' money or their pockets, whether they're willing to go. If they're willing to absorb more money, then they're going to send a low-level prospect to the Cubs. But if the Cubs eat more money because they want to stay under the threshold, it's going to cost them a prospect. This is where you might see a Sweeney might go, and another type of Sweeney, Esteban Florial to send them in their system. And that's where you could put those kind of bullets in and probably give a blue chipper a single A high prospect if they absorb more money of the money and the Cubs might say, you know what, for one double A player or a single A rookie that has a lot of promise and a couple years away and they're not ready to win yet and they only got to invest half of the season for these 2 contracts to expire, they might do it. It might be creative. They might do that.
Depends on the age. Like, I guess if they're both like 18, 19, maybe even 20 to 22 years old, then maybe if it's like 2 of them. But if we're talking like money and like 1 prospect, then it's gonna cost you someone like Sweeney. Because like if it was just like any other pitcher, like having like just like even like an average year, then I would probably most definitely agree with you. But without a doubt, a pitcher having a late year, and then Cody Bellinger who can do damage in Yankee Stadium, then we're talking a nice hefty penny.
Well, Sweeney,
but remember that
we have enough infield product. That's why I'm not really tripping if we give up Sweeney and stuff like that because where else is he gonna play?
I get your point. Like that's why I'm in favor of possibly trading like Cabrera or even Peraza or something like that because eventually
Peraza get to another piece.
I'm about to say
I don't think Peraza will be in the Cubs deal because you could just move Peraza for
a way better player
for the pitcher we missed out for the pitcher we missed out from the Reds last season, Castillo. We could have I know they wanted Volpe, but they could have just personally. I think it's Sweeney and maybe a pitcher that we not heard of. Maybe a Brito looks something interesting to the Cubs here. A Brito or even this Vasquez. If he pitches another good, decent game, why would the Yankees do that? Because they have done that before in the past. We know, case in point was the one with the kid that we sent last year, Sears, to Oakland.
Yeah, I've been in
They've
favor
done
of
that
this. Why not do this? Trade Nestor Cortez away for like 2 or 3 prospects and send that to the Cubs. Then like a three team deal.
You could send them there. And I know and I want to give credit to the other guys, the other content creators that talk about Higashioka, because you got 3 catchers, you got 4 catchers in this system that you have to make a decision soon, because Higgy is not Higgy's whatchamacallit. He's still got another year or 2 in control. Chris, you have to go. That's fine. We're gonna wrap up in about 5 minutes, so we'll do a little wrap up there real quick. But I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead. Let you say your final thoughts, Chris, if you have to get going.
Yeah. I just hope we do something. We definitely need more pitching too, because our pitchers are getting hurt too. So I mean, I would love the Bellinger and Marcus Stroman deal, because it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. So hopefully we could do something during the trade deadline, and I just hope we can keep winning without Judge. I hope everybody have a good day or a good night. Go Heat!
Absolutely. All right. Good luck on you guys. All right. That's Flash Sports. Chris the Flash. Thank you for joining us this evening. When we were going back to the trade there, back to Higashioka. I want to give current content creator credit. It's you got 3 catchers. You have Austin Wells is in Double-A. Ben Rovnet, that they made the big move, and he's a left-handed bat, and you would like to have balance in your catching position. Even if you go Higashioka or Trevino, let's say either or, and Rovnet is your platoon catcher. With either one of those 2, but they're right-handed catchers with your left-handed bat. That's nice balance in the catcher position for the Yankees, because you could, depending on mismatch and who could behind the plate, and Ben Rovnet is a really good defensive catcher. I was very impressed with his short stint in the major leagues here. Lamario, I haven't heard from you for a while. What's your thoughts on the catcher position?
All right.
Yeah, Mario's on fire today with his point, man. He's talking hard, going at it as hard as they can.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah.
So he'll the catcher. Let's York the same question to you, because we'll look like we're ready to wrap up, because I believe he's watching Swerve Strickland versus Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, platooning is always nice. The one thing for sure is you definitely got to move one of them, I think, trade deadline. Obviously, everyone's voting for Higgy because he has the most value. And also, you got Wells coming up, knocking on the door. My only question is, where do you move him to? Because either there's a lot of teams that are in competition, or there's a lot of players who already have their catcher. Sure, there's going to be someone looking for a backup, but I guess the only question is, what kind of value are you going to get out of Hickey? Because, let's be honest, overall, I mean, he's worth something. The question is, what?
Exactly. What can you get back? I think if the Yankees do move him, I think they'll try to get again, a lot of content creators. I'll give them credit. They've mentioned some good pitchers, some minor league, single A, pitchers that are not quite ready, but they have a lot of potential in a few years developing in the Yankee system. Arms for Higashioka, it makes sense too, because you free up a 40-man roster spot in Higgy. You could bring Ben Rovnet up. They'll be crazy to get rid of Trevino, although I think you get better trade value for Jose Trevino, because Jose is a former All-Star catcher, but he's a hell of a framer, and I think the pitchers pitch much better under Trevino than Higashioka. I think he calls a better game currently right now than Higashioka. Not to pile on Higgy, But Higgy does work well with the pitching staff. Higgy's problem is throwing base runners out at second base. I think he doesn't control the running game at all to my liking, and Ben Rovnev does. I think Higgy sometimes get into that a little bit of the Gary Sanchez little laziness. And speaking of Sanchez, he's having a resurgence there with the Padres. As a designated hitter, whatever position he is, that's good for him. I'm glad he's having. I wanted to bring that a little bit of a side note for him. On fire with the Padres. I hope that young man hits it well, where they could actually think about moving Soto or something. They're not going to need it, but whatever. I just wanted to take that little side note there from to give Sanchez his flowers there. But yeah, back to they got to move one of these three catchers. They cannot be with all three, with Higgy, Rovnev, and Trevino, because I think Ben Rovnev doesn't deserve to be in the minors. He was brought over here, to be here. I understand injuries caught a part of it, but now he seems to be healthy, and you need to play him.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
For those that were joining us here, we were planning to do the Yankee game. The Yankee game got canceled due to as you see the background here on the TV on my screen. It's because of the fog, the fires in Canada. The air quality is intolerable. Cannot be breathable for at least a whole stadium and the city of New York and the northern east part of the country in some very bad air quality, unbreathable air. Also, speaking of that, Carlos Rendon, there's a video of him warming up and throwing some pitches to live batting practice today. Jeff Flowers was one of the hitters and a few others. Good to see that Rendon is on the mound throwing some pitches. Hopefully the Yankees could get him back. Maybe a start or two before the All-Star break. Maybe and that'd be a big plus. That's like making a trade without making a trade at the trading deadline. If you get Rodon after the All-Star break or right before, I think that will be a big plus for the Yankees as well.
Yeah, and I'm sorry if you guys saw me smiling a little bit. I just had this crazy joke in my head where like I saw a guy steal a base on Higashioka, and I can just imagine like the base runner saying to Higashioka, "Cierro, miedo."
Also, I wanted to tell Chris that, and I teased it and I didn't got to it. Luis Severino last start against the Dodgers was not a good start, and it wasn't because we thought it was because there was tipping pitches and they were seeing that was coming. No, he had 2 miles per hour less in his fastball than his normal starts, and he only had I think he had only one rehab assignment before coming right up to the majors. He might be going through a dead arm period. Pitchers tend to get that, and he might be going through a dead arm period, especially if he's losing his velocity on his fastball by 2 significant miles. That's something hopefully that doesn't linger where he's got to get another IL stint or skip a start. So keep an eye on that. Yes, Mario.
All right. Well, I have some scores.
What?
Go ahead. Go for it. Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
Good
another good one. Wow, guys. You know what? Listen to this show just for him. He's on fire.
Absolutely. So I wanted to say that about Luis Severino with that arm issue. It's about health. It's about health. This team has not been healthy, and man, it's like, what can they do? Because
we can't stay healthy at all
for anything. So you got some scores for us, kiddo?
Yeah, I can look up who's actually got to play today. Whose day Canada didn't ruin.
Give us the American League East.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you all the games.
All right.
Yeah. So the games that actually got to happen today were the Athletics actually beat the Pirates 9-5. The Padres beat the Mariners 10-3. The Marlins beat the Royals 6-1. Rays right now I'm beating the Twins. No one can stop those pesky Rays. I'm telling you.
Come on, Charlie. Tell your Twins
Yeah,
to
come
get it
on.
together, man.
Yeah, Diamondbacks are currently ahead of the Nationals 3-2, bottom of the fifth. My Astros are beating the Blue Jays 2-1, bottom of the sixth. Red Sox and Guardians tied 2-2, bottom of the fourth.
Surprised they're playing because it's closer to Canada.
I don't know. I can't tell you why. I was surprised too. Oh, Red Sox and Guardians are tied 2-2. I already said that one maybe. Dodgers and Reds are tied 6-6. I don't know how the Dodgers are tied with the Reds, but it's baseball, I guess. Mets are beating the Mets are beating the Braves 2-0, top of the fourth. Brewers are beating the Orioles, bottom of the third. Cardinals and Rangers just started, bottom of the first. And that is all your games for today. There's two more that have yet to start.
Bro, what a brutal loss for the Mets yesterday. They were up 4-1. Braves come back. They had two run home runs from Lindor and Alonso, and Smith couldn't get it done. The Mets are just struggling. If they're not hitting, the bullpen stinks. I mean, or when they're hitting, the bullpen stinks. Or if the bullpen is good, they don't hit. It's like they never could be on the same page together as a team, as a whole. And the Mets just got some bad luck, man.
Yeah, like I said, they're just the most cursed organization ever. I mean, ironically, I have to go back to that Men in Black scene where it's like you see the two people coming into the New York diner and they're complaining, and then you just see Will Smith talking to a young K. He's like, "Oh, that's ironic. They're complaining. The Mets actually won it this year in 1969." And then he's just looking at him like, "Wow, okay, I guess they do."
Cassidy is still the international champion of AEW.
Okay.
But
that disappoints me because I really like Source Strickland, but oh well.
But yeah, if you're a Mets fan, I feel bad for you. But I you know what? Hey, if you're Chef Dan, we still love your food. You haven't tasted it, but that's always something positive to look forward to. You make good food, you have to.
I mean, the Mets are pretty good this year, kind of. Well, they were.
They're having a hard time right now. They're going. It's just June. It's also June. Listen, the Braves were in that position last year, and they took off in at the end of June, and they took off and took that division. So can they turn it around? Absolutely. When you have Scherzer, Verlander pitching like that, but 1-2 punch, Kodai Senga, if he gets going, they have the arms. On paper, they have the talent to really do something. They have the hell of a manager, but it's just not coming all together. They've got all the right ingredients, but it's not firing on cylinder. The well-oiled machine isn't being in. They're not on the same gear. And man, but when they get on that gear, they're tough. They're tough.
And you know what's so funny? It's not even like their owner doesn't know baseball. It's nothing like that. Like, it just goes to show you, in this day and age, money can't buy you a championship. It's like you have to actually have a little bit of luck and hope, nothing follows you.
And it's not all his fault. The owners, he's trying to throw money on. He's trying to win now while trying to develop. He's spending a lot of money because he's got to wait for his farm system to develop. The Wilpons didn't have a good farm system. This team with the current owners were really, their farm system was depleted. And he just wanted to bring some players to make the team buzzworthy and bring fans back, trying to put a winning product, a winning manager. But at the end of the day, like you said, you still need your farm system. You need your young talent to come and produce. And they have some guys coming up pretty soon, but maybe they're just a year away, not ready, and that's that's okay with that. But the Met fans are a little impatient because, of course, and they haven't won since '86. That's a long time. Getting teased in 2015, and that's a long time for Met fans. They're a really good team, a good fan base. Despite me being a Yankee fan, and we don't see eye to eye, supposedly on the fandom, but the Mets still that's a passionate fan base, and they want a winner, and they're running out of patience. And I understand that, but I don't believe the owner should get any venom. maybe because at the end of the day, Billy Epler as the general manager was brought in. Yeah, Cohen agreed to it, but Sandy Alderson was there. Maybe someone think about it. Maybe some of these executives didn't want to come into the organization. I know Sandy Alderson was supposed to step away from the organization, and as soon as you got some baseball people in the transition period, but there was some general managers that were skeptical. Maybe he might have been president where he had to deal with a Sandy Alderson. And they were like, you know what? I don't want this headache. It's similar, and I don't want to bring it. I'm bringing it to the WWE. Maybe some wrestlers. Vince is back now. Vince was suspended, but he was always lurking, and maybe some of these in the free agent wrestlers says, I didn't want to go to WWE because Vince is still, regardless in the fold some way somehow, and I rather go somewhere else to wrestle, make more money where I don't have to deal with the ups and downs with Vince. And maybe that's what some of these general managers, when the Met job opened. Maybe that's, maybe I don't want to be with Sandy Alderson, because in the beginning with Cohen, the first year of Cohen, Sandy Alderson was still shopping like he was in the Dollar Tree. And we would overhear about was the influx of Cohen's money, and Alderson was making cheap moves. And then we bought Epler, who started buying some players, and now the Mets are complaining. So it's damn if you do, damn if you don't, Heel.
Yeah. You want to know? You want to just take into perspective how long it's been since the Mets won the World Series? Michael Jordan was only 2 years into his career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is what it is. But guys, I want to thank you guys. I know we didn't do the game. We'll if I get out of work early, which I probably will, be a 90% chance, we'll do the doubleheader tomorrow at 4:00. We'll call it a night here, an hour and a half into the stream. I know Chris had to go. I would have loved Chris to stay, but he has things to do as well. But we did the watch along here. We had a schedule for a watch along. The Yankees did not play due to the conditions, so we'll take a little bit and enjoy All Elite Wrestling a little bit there. I've got a nice podcast I want to do with NXT. I want to do that too soon. Maybe I've got a doubleheader. I got to get with that because my man, Bron Breakker, challenges Seth freaking Rollins for the world title in NXT. So if that happens, I will be. You know what? It might be between Mets and Yankees, and I'm gonna go see Bron Breakker win that world title from Seth freaking Rollins. So it's gonna be a tough one.
And as for the watch long, all I can really say is blame Canada.
Yeah, indeed. Mario, what's your final thoughts here before we say good night?
Yeah, I mean, no. Hopefully the Yankees can at least win one, maybe both of the doubleheader games tomorrow, but hopefully we'll see.
All right. They need to win too because they don't lose the series, man. And you want to win that series going to the Boston Red Sox, our hated rivals. So that's the first time we see them all season. That's going to be fun. So for myself, Chris the Flash, Western Baseball Heel, and Lamario Hockey, this is the Bronx Bombers Strike Back podcast. We thank you guys for joining us this evening. Have a beautiful, blessed night. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
It'll be a 3-1. Swung on and driven down the right field line. There, the game is over. It's a